Hello, basketball fans. Welcome to the University High School Gymnasium for a district battle between the University Trojans and the Bryan Vikings. Game just now underway here at the University High School Gym. This game being recorded on a Tuesday night, July the 23rd, for replay on Waco ISD TV. University in the white jerseys and Bryan in the all blue. When these two teams played earlier in the year, back on December the 16th, Bryan came away with a 15-point victory over the Trojans. Well, right now, we've played a little more than 30 seconds. No score yet. University gets the rebound. Good job in there by Marquavian Mitchell to come up with the rebound. You got Tyron Archibald, Justin Williams, Derek Hopkins, Wilson Vargas, and Marquavian Mitchell, the five on the floor to start the game for Tara Lloyd's University Trojans, who come into the game 16-11 on the year, but they are 2-4 in district play. They're in a four-way tie for fourth place in the league standings. Bryan's starters are number 1, Kayfon Horns, number 2, Zach Nuttall, number 21, Jonathan Wells, number 24, Jaquan Washington, and number 5, Latravian Thomas, who just got the first 2 points of the game on the lay-in. That came about a minute 15 into the first quarter. Christopher Jones is the head coach of the Bryan Vikings. His team in second place in the district, tied with A&M Consolidated at 4-2. 2 points for University goes to Tyron Archibald. It's a 2-point game. Bryan is 17-8 on the year. Everybody trying to catch the Rudder Rangers, who are 5-1 in district competition. But it's a logjam after that, with Bryan and Consolidated tied for second, and then Waco, Temple, College Station University all tied for fourth. Just only a couple of more weeks left of the regular season. Rebound by DeYoung. Fought for and coming down with it is Mitchell. Thought about the shot in the corner. And they lose the ball underneath the basket. 2-2 our score. We've played a minute and 10 seconds in the contest. And these two teams met back on December the 16th. Bryan was led by Zach Nuttall, number 2, who scored 18 points in the game. He is averaging about 18 points per game during the conference schedule. He just missed the three-pointer there. University brings it down. Justin Williams goes into the paint, and his path to the basket is blocked off. And it's going to be Zach Nuttall who picks up his first foul. First foul for either team. University inbound underneath their own basket. Checking in for Bryan is Chris Calhoun. He'll take over for Kayfon Horns. Hopkins triggers the inbounds, gets it into Williams. Williams takes it right back to the hole and can't get it to fall. Fight for the rebound. University controls it, and Mitchell puts it up and in. Marquavian Mitchell gets his first 2 points, gives University a lead at 4-2. Trojans playing a man-to-man, trying to trap. Bryan loses the ball out of bounds. Jonathan Wells couldn't control it. Good look at Jonathan Wells there. The Trojans will bring it in. They'll face full court pressure. As Archibald and Vargas will bring it across, get it over to Hopkins. Hopkins will take it to the baseline, then pitch it back out to the top. Williams gets it around to Archibald. Tries to go back to Williams, but Williams fell down, so the pass goes awry. Rebound put back up and in by Jaquan Washington and ties the game at 4 apiece. Just prior to this game, the two junior varsities played each other, with Bryan coming away with a 20-point victory, 65-45 in the JV game. And a timeout called as the coaching staffs want to find out what's going on here between these two clubs in the early go, as they each just have 2 buckets apiece. 4-4 our score. After tonight, the Bryan Vikings have 5 games left on the schedule. They still have to play in the second half of the round robin. A&M Consolidated, Bryan, Rudder, Waco, Temple, and College Station. University after tonight has their open date. That'll come on Friday of this week. Then they have 5 games left on their schedule at Angum Consolidated. Then they'll host Rudder before taking on Waco High for the second time this year. They also have to travel to Temple and will finish off against College Station. So still plenty to be decided in District 18 5A. Trojans taking their time against a 2-3 zone defense by the Vikings. Williams out top, gets it around to the Archibald. Now Williams drives in, gets it off to Mitchell. Mitchell's shot is no good. The rebound fought for. Mitchell gets it, goes back to the hoop and puts it in. Quavian Mitchell has 4 to lead all scorers. University has a lead at 6-4. Apparently they call a foul on Wilson Bogus, his first team foul. Each team has 1 foul against them. And now we're going to get a sub for Bryan. It's coming in as Keyshawn Hennett. He will give Chris Calhoun a rest. Also notice that Logan Chamberlain has checked into the game, number 13. Basket for Hemmett. Makes it a 6-6 contest. Mitchell, that's Williams that gets that basket. Gives the Trojans the lead again. Now the steal. Williams has the ball taken away from him. Logan takes it to the paint. Shots altered, no good. Rebound fought for underneath. Mitchell has it. Williams is on the floor. Williams, one of the few returning starters from last year's team. Matter of fact, he's the only returning starter from last year's team, which made it all the way to the regional semifinals. Eight to 6 our score. University on top. Neither team's been ahead by more than 2. Checking in for University is Brian Smith. Archibald looking to get it into the paint. Now have to pitch it around to the right side. Comes back to Archibald. He goes to the hoop on the left side. Puts up the shot that's no good, but a player control foul is called on Archibald. That'll be his first. Team second. Each team has 2 fouls against them. And Zach Nuttall comes back into the game for Bryan, along with Jonathan Wells, as a couple of starters come back in. Barnes gets it over to Chamberlain. To the baseline. Now back out top it comes to Horns. 3-second violation down underneath on Hemmett. Gives the ball to University. Williams picked up by Chamberlain at the timeline. Bryan basically playing a sagging 2-3 zone here. Trojans trying to get up by at least 4 here. Williams goes cross court to Hopkins. Hopkins coming off a 11-point performance against College Station. He also had 24 points against Temple to lead all scorers 2 games in a row. Williams sees an opening, goes to the baseline and puts it up, and it's no good. Rebounded by Wells for Bryan. They get it off to Horns. Horns will key the offense. Over to Chamberlain. Down in the corner to Wells. Wells drives the baseline, puts up the shot, but traveled before he got there. The University's basketball. Chris Jones is going to rotate some players. Chamberlain goes to the bench along with Hemmett. Shaquan Washington back in, along with Latravian Thomas. So the starters back on the court. Archibald saves the pass from hitting us here at the broadcast desk. Hopkins looks inside, gets it to Williams. Williams trying to get his way to the backboard. Has a shot blocked from behind. Vikings on the run, will slow it down. A three-pointer on the way, off the mark, and Archibald has the rebound. Still at 8-6 with a minute and a half to go. Ball stolen away. Orange going the other way, gets it to Nuttall. His lay-in is good, and we're back tied again. First 2 points of the game for Zach Nuttall, who has been their leading scorer in every conference game so far this year. Pass almost stolen away. Archibald tried to save it from going out of bounds. He shouldn't have just let it go out of bounds. It would have been off of Bryan. It'd be Trojans' ball, but instead, Bryan Vikings have the basketball. Thomas to trigger the inbounds pass. Gets it off to Washington. Bring it back to Thomas. University now in a 2-3 zone. Into the right corner along the baseline. Pitch it back outside. Thomas against Hopkins. They take it into the corner to Nuttall. He puts up a three-pointer that's good. Zach Nuttall has 2 baskets, 1 2-pointer, 1 3-pointer. His 5 points leads all scorers in the game so far. Down low to Mitchell. Now Mitchell is the leading scorer as he's got 6. Trojans trail 11-10. All the way to the hoop. And a jump ball called as Mitchell is able to tie up. Wade McGregor. Cross-court pass. Hopkins takes it back over to Archibald. Tarl Lloyd calling out a play as he wants his team to get the final shot here as we're down to 5 seconds left in the quarter. Off to Archibald. Archibald will put up the three-pointer. It'll rattle around and won't fall down. So after the first 8 minutes, the Bryan Vikings, though, top of the University Trojans by a score of 11-10, thanks to 5 points from Zach Nuttall and 2 apiece from Jaquan Washington, Keyshawn Hemmett, and Latravian Thomas. Quavian Mitchell leading the way for University with his 6 points. Justin Williams has 2, and Tyron Archibald has 2. Again, the Rudder Rangers at the top of the District 18 5A standings with a 5-1 mark. They are at home tonight against the Temple Wildcats. The other game in the district has A&M Consolidated hosting College Station. Waco High taking the bye tonight. Matter of fact, their coach is here watching this contest. There you see Earl Farley up in the stands with the red sleeves. Here taking in the action. And just on the other side of him is Kevin Gill, the head coach of the McLennan Highlanders. Here looking for some talent. Guarantee he is looking at number 2, Zach Nuttall, along with a couple of other players. Also a couple of other schools looking at Zach Nuttall. He is bona fide D1 talent according to many coaches in the district. Now we're trying to get the clock to work up properly. There we go, back up to 8 minutes for the second quarter. Ball inbounded by Thomas. Get it inside. Back in the corner to Thomas. Throws up a 3 that's good. Travian Thomas has a 3-pointer. Biggest lead of the night for either team is 4 points at 14-10. Down low to Williams. Williams with the bounce pass. It's almost knocked away, but Mitchell able to control it and put it in, and he has 8. Mitchell, just a sophomore, a building block for Tarl Lloyd's Trojans in the future. Ball far underneath. Hopkins finally controls it. Zips a pass Over to Smith. Down the corner to Williams. Williams will back it back out. Now bounces inside to Mitchell, and Mitchell is blocked as he goes to the backboard. Foul's going to be on Thomas. That'll be his first. And it'll send Marquavian Mitchell to the line. First opportunity at the free throw line for either team. Good look at the sophomore inside man. A little too hard. New player in the game for Bryan is number 12, Wade McGregor. As Thomas will get a rest. Mitchell's next shot is off the back of the iron. Bryan comes down with it. They quickly get it down. Traveling at the baseline with the basketball is Jonathan Wells. Gives the ball back to University. 2-point game at 14-12. Bryan looking for the two-man trap in the backcourt, unable to get it. Archibald passes down to Mitchell. Mitchell has his shot blocked as he went to the backboard. Bryan running with the basketball. Archibald picks it up. Get out to the top of the key to Horns. Horns goes back out top to Washington, and Washington drains the three. Three-pointers for the Bryan Vikings. Has them up by 4. I'll make that 5 at 17-12. Now the pass is stolen. And underneath, the lay-in won't fall in. Hopkins comes down with the rebound. Hopkins looks at the three, but decides not to go. In the corner, Archibald. Come back outside to Smith. Pass is knocked away, out of bounds off of Bryan. Extra hustle there by Zach Nuttall. Into the game for University. Wilson Bogus checks back in as Brian Smith goes to the bench. Bogus to Williams. Williams looking inside, directing traffic. His team down by 5. Archibald back to Williams. Bryan staying in a 2-3 zone here. University looking for something open down the middle. Now they pass it in to Mitchell. Mitchell able to get it in off the glass, but unable to get the shot to fall. And now here go the Vikings on the run. Bounce pass to the baseline. Shot put up and good by Kayvon Horns, his first basket of the night. It's their 4th three-pointer, and all 9 points in this period are from three-point land. Williams tried the inside pass to Mitchell, has it knocked away by Nuttall. Passes up ahead, and it's knocked away. I think we got a foul on the floor. Going to be on Archibald, his second. They have each team with 3 fouls. Inbounding the ball will be Chamberlain. Gets it into Moore. Nuttall gets it back to Horns. Over to Chamberlain. In the corner to McGregor. His three-pointer's off the mark. Williams is tied up on the rebound. Alternate possession, it belongs to University. Hopkins and Archibald bringing it across the timeline. 4:40 left to go in the second quarter. You see our score, Bryan up 19-12. 7-point lead, the biggest advantage of the night for either team. Hopkins will throw up the three. It's off the mark. Chamberlain has the rebound. Off to Horns. Off to Nuttall. He'll drive in, put up a shot. It'll go down, and he's also fouled. I believe it's going to be on Mitchell. His first, 4th team foul. Give Nuttall the 2 points, and he gets one more chance. Good look at the D1 prospect there, Zach Nuttall. Unable to get it to fall. Teams are 0 for 3 from the free throw line. Quickly down court go the Trojans. Archibald gets the shot to fall. He's got 4. 7-point game at 21-14. Three-pointer off the mark. Little battle underneath the boards, and got a foul on 22 for Bryan. That's Chris Calhoun picking up his first. Each team now with 4 team fouls. Tell you what, Christopher Jones, the head coach for Bryan, certainly rotates his players in and out often. Williams looking for Mitchell inside, not there just yet. Hopkins will take it over to Archibald. Back to Hopkins. Hopkins thought about the 3, back to Archibald. Fakes the 3, dribbles back out, gets it to Williams. Clear 3 here for Hopkins, won't fall. Rebound fought for. Hopkins gets it, puts it back up, it won't go. Rebound is off of Bryan. It'll be University ball underneath their own backboard. No look pass to Mitchell is taken away by Bryan. Barnes picked up by Archibald, over to Chamberlain with the long 3 that's off the back of the iron. Williams has the rebound. Quickly, Bryan gets back on defense. Williams is called with a charge. Player control foul on Justin Williams, his first, 5th team foul. Davion Logan checks out of the game for Bryan, and Nuttall comes back in. And a timeout call. Vikings had a 1-point lead at the end of the first quarter and have extended it thanks to the 3-point baskets, as they have outscored University here in the second quarter, 11-4. That should be an 8-point difference, wouldn't it? Instead of a 7-point difference. Nobody's hit a free throw. Yeah, we'll figure it all out later. My scorecard is highly unofficial. Scoreboard says it's 21-14. I think it ought to be 22, but who am I? Not unless one of these 3-pointers was just a 2-pointer. Trojans looking forward to a rest on Friday. Still get their open date. 5 games left in the regular schedule after that. Still have a shot to get into the postseason, but they have to do some winning down the stretch. They only picked up 2 wins in the first end of the round robin, beating Waco and Temple. Shot put up and no good by Hemet. Ball lost out of bounds. It'll be University's basketball. Hopkins looking down court for some help before he gets the ball across the timeline. Gets it off to Archibald. Back to Archibald, who drives into the paint. Now gets it back over to Hopkins. Hopkins along the baseline. Long pass. Goes over to Tyrese Johnson, who's in the game. He throws up a three that's no good. Nuttall has the rebound and is on the run. Mitchell guards on the baseline. Keeps Bryan from scoring. Bryan slowing it down a little bit here with 2:05 left to go in the second quarter. Pitch inside to Nuttall is stolen away by University. Johnson comes out with it. Off to Archibald. He'll take it all the way to the backboard, and the floater goes. Archibald has 4 in the quarter and 6 for the game. It's in a 5-point contest. Cross-court pass almost stolen away, but it's... And now walking... They call a foul? Yes, they did. Foul's on Williams, number 14. That'll be his second. 16 foul against University. Their next foul will put Bryan in the bonus. Chamberlain checks out along with Hemmett for Bryan. John Washington triggers the inbounds. Minute and a half to go, and Bryan not in a big hurry here with a 5-point lead. And the basketball in their possession. Washington gets it in the corner to Wells. Wells goes to the corner of the key. Rebound shot put back up by Horns, but he's fouled. Now it's going to be on Hopkins. Be his first. And I don't know if it was on the floor. They say it's 2-shot foul, so he'll be shooting 2. First opportunity at the free throw line for Horns. No good. Nobody's hit a free throw yet. Two teams are 0 for 4. Cleared out by Williams. Pass down low to Hopkins along the baseline. He saves it from going out of bounds. A three-pointer is no good by Johnson. The rebound, though, Hopkins comes up with it, but there's a whistle. And a foul called on Archibald, I believe. If it is, that's his third. I didn't see exactly who they called that foul on. We'll double check it at the break. Maybe it is on Archibald as he goes out of the game. And Deshaun Sadler checks in. 1-and-1 situation here. Missed the free throw. No free throw made yet by either team. 5-point game, under a minute to go. University would like to get it down to a 1-possession ball game. Johnson takes it to the hoop, has it shot blocked. Mitchell saves it. Williams now with 40 seconds to go. Looks inside. Gets a little help from Mitchell. Now Bryan will back off. Go back into their 2-3. University will wait for the final shot. 25 seconds. They'll wait till there's 10 left before they start anything. Once again, Taro Lloyd issuing instructions to his team. They had the final shot of the first quarter and unable to get it to fall. Now with 10 seconds to go, they start to trigger the offense. Hopkins gets it to Williams. Back to Hopkins. Hopkins fakes the three, now drives in, puts up the floater. It's off the glass, no good. And that will be the end of our first half. So we got another 16 minutes to play here at the University High School gym. After the first 16, our score is Bryan 21 and University 16. Stay where you are. We got more basketball for you in a minute right here on Waco ISD TV. Welcome back to the University High School Gymnasium, where we are at halftime of this District 18 5A matchup between the University Trojans and the Bryan Vikings. Vikings holding a 5-point lead at halftime, 21-16, thanks to 7 points from Zach Nuttall. 5 different players scoring for the Bryan Vikings in the first half, as Jaquan Washington had 5 and Latravian Thomas had 5, 2 apiece for Kayvon Horns and Keyshawn Hemmett. Just 3 players scoring for the University Trojans in the first half. 8 points by Marquavian Mitchell, 6 for Taryn Archibald, and 2 for Justin Williams. These teams are well below their scoring average from their previous meeting back on December the 16th, won by Bryan 56-41. They need to get some scoring going here in the second half if they want to get even close to those scores from that previous meeting. Part of the problem's at the free throw line. Bryan is 0 for 3 from the charity stripe. University is 0 for 2. Trojans have not sunk a three-point basket, where Bryan has hit 3 three-pointers. Scoring discrepancy from the first half. I had Zach Nuttall with 2 three-pointers, and actually it was just 1. So we are underway in the second half here. Bryan with the inbound on the ball. Trojans starting 5 back on the court, with the exception of, well, I'm sorry, that is the starting 5 out there. Archibald, Hopkins, Williams, Mitchell, and Bogus. Three-pointer on the way from Nuttall is no good. Trying to save it from going out of bounds, but Jonathan Wells had a foot on the baseline when he touched the basketball, so it ends up in University's possession. Bryan trying to trap it midcourt. Trojans able to pass through that. Ball knocked out of bounds. Horns knocked it out of the hands of Hopkins. Hopkins will now trigger a inbounds pass underneath the Trojans' own basket. Comes all the way out to Archibald. Williams looking inside, nothing brewing there. Back to Archibald. Trojans being very deliberate here in the early part of the third quarter. Apparently they do not necessarily want to run with Bryan. Williams goes in. Pass around, and Bogus ends up with the 2 points. He and Mitchell passing it back and forth underneath the basket, and Bogus is able to get it to go down. Makes it a 3-point game. Shot is blocked by Mitchell. Looks like he's also going to pick up the foul. Going to be his second. Apparently got him with the body as Washington tried to drive into the lane. There's Jaquan Washington, who had 5 in the first half, and he hits the first free throw of the night. Teams are 1 for 7 from the free throw line. Gets this one as well. Gives him 7 points on the night. That ties him for the team high with Zach Nuttall, who has 7. Archibald dribbles through the double team and picks up a foul to reach in. Gonna call it on 24. Jaquan Washington picks up his first. And a 30-second timeout called by Bryan head coach Christopher Jones. Wants to draw something up here because he's noticed that the University Trojans have tried to slow things down and eat up some clock. Bryan still has 5 games left on the schedule. So they still have to play the 3 teams from the College Station area, plus Waco High and Temple. They'll take on Waco High at home, coming up on February the 2nd. University to inbounds. Hopkins will start the offense. Seeing if they can't get Williams free, but Bryan doing everything they can to deny him the basketball. They get it to Mitchell. Mitchell drives to the backboard, and it'll go down. First 2 points of the second half for Mitchell. Leads all scorers with 10. Washington pitches across to Thomas. In the corner it goes. Three-pointer is off the mark by Horns. University has the rebound. They're going to call a foul, a blocking foul on Zach Nuttall. That'll be his first. Second team foul against Bryan. Three-pointer would tie this one up. Mitchell way out top the key. That's uncharted territory for him. He needs to be down the baseline. The throw inside, though, is knocked away. Going the other way is Thomas. Thomas pitches it off to Jonathan Wells, who gets his first 2 points of the game. This is a 5-point lead for Bryan. Mitchell goes to the backboard, can't get it to fall. Bogus can't control the rebound, and it's out of bounds off of University. Chamberlain will come in for Bryan. Take over for Thomas. Washington also going to the bench. Jamadre Moore checks in, number 11. I think that's the first time we've seen Moore into the game. Also Chris Calhoun in the game for Bryan. Pretty much the second unit right now for the Vikings, except for Nuttall. Horns working it around. University is still in a 2-3 zone. And now we have 3 seconds called on Bryan. Apparently, Jamadre Moore was staying in the paint a little too long. Turns the ball over to University. .435 left to go, third quarter. Trojans have trailed since the end of the first quarter, but ended 11-10. Williams lost the handle on it, gets it back out top to Archibald, goes down to Hopkins. Back to Archie. Archie goes outside to Williams. Williams drives in, back to Archie. 2-3 zone, a little tough to penetrate right now for University. Gets it off to Williams, and that's knocked away by Nuttall. Nuttall with the block, sends it out of bounds. That's one of the reasons why Kevin Gill is here to watch this youngster. They know that he can do things like that. All the way out the top to Mitchell. Williams looking for something inside, nothing moving just yet. Hopkins all the way across court to Archibald. He'll drive in, puts up the floater that won't fall. Mitchell had the rebound but loses it. And they give it to Bryan, or to University. The official at the baseline not being overruled by anybody. Bryan faithful thinks it ought to be their ball. There goes Williams into the paint. And he's fouled. Foul zone 13, Chamberlain. That's his first. It's on the floor. Second team foul in the half. Archibald takes the inbounds pass. Williams thinks about the three. Backs off of Chamberlain. Pass is knocked away. Williams gets it right back, goes to Mitchell. Mitchell inside puts up the shot that's no good, but he's fouled. Foul's going to be on 22, Chris Calhoun. That's his second. Mitchell at the free throw line for the second time tonight, where he's 0 for 2. He's the only Trojan that's been to the free throw line so far. Can't get that one to go. McGregor into the game for the Vikings. Also coming back in is Jonathan Wells. Mitchell with another opportunity here. Off the back of the iron. Chamberlain gets the rebound off to McGregor. Gets it off to Horns. Horns dribbles into the paint. Bounce pass on the baseline is blocked out of bounds, and University will watch Bryan inbound the ball underneath their own backboard. Wells with a chance at the baseline, unable to get it in as University triple teamed him as he went to the backboard. Tried to pass it in to Nuttall on the alley-oop, but that's knocked away. Chamberlain to do the inbounding. It's called a different play here. All the way to the top to McGregor. Back into the corner to Horns. Horns off to Nuttall. Nuttall backs off with a two-pointer, and it won't fall. Bogus with the rebound. University running. 25-20 our score with 3:05 left to go, third quarter. Been at this 25-20 juncture for quite some time now. It's 21-16 at half. So each team has scored 4 points in the period. Shot goes down for Mitchell. Or it was Williams that got that one, excuse me. His first two, he's got 4 points. He's being held well below his average. Averaging about 18 points a game. Gregor's shot's off the mark. Wells with the rebound and puts it back up and in. Wells has 4 points in the game, all in the third quarter. Back to a 5-point lead, 27-22. Hopkins thought he had a shot to the backboard, but decides to back it back out. 2:05 left in the third quarter. Williams puts up the shot that falls. It's a two-pointer. That time he starts scoring. Trojans need his points. 3-point game, 27-3. Nuttall drives to the backboard, partially blocked by Mitchell. And Boggs is going to be called for a reaching in foul. Got it on the arm. Second foul against Wilson Bogus. Chamberlain, McGregor to the sideline for the Vikings. Brings in Thomas along with Wells. All the way out to the top it comes to Thomas. Nuttall to Washington. Back to Thomas. Trojans working their 2-3 zone. Nuttall was thinking about spotting up for the three. Minute 25 to go. Bryan just passing the ball around, looking for something inside. Bounce pass to the baseline, stolen away by Williams, and Williams is going to be fouled. Foul's going to be on 21, Jonathan Wells, his second. With a minute 15 left to go in the third quarter. Bryan with 5 team fouls, University with just 2. Williams for the three, yes. First three-pointer of the night for the Trojans belongs to Justin Williams. He's got 7 points in the period and 9 for the game and ties the game up at 27 apiece with a minute to go in the third quarter. First time the game's been tied since the first quarter, but it's answered quickly as Nuttall drains a three. His first tray of the night. 30-27 our score with 43 seconds to go. Hopkins takes it to the paint, now passes across court to Bogus, and it's a little too wild. Hopkins either not happy with Bogus for not moving where he thought he was, or not happy with himself for throwing a wild pass. Washington brings it up for Bryan. Let's see if they go for the final shot. Thomas will hold it out to the top of the key and make University come out to defend. or just let Bryan take the final shot with 20 seconds to go. We're just sitting here watching players stand around. You got to believe they're going to try to get the ball in the hands of number 2, Zach Nuttall. Now with 6 seconds left is when they finally get something going here. He'll throw up a 3 from way outside. It's off the mark. Rebound shot put back up and no good by Horns. And at the end of 3 quarters, Bryan has a 30-27 lead over the University Trojans. Let's take this opportunity to acknowledge our crew from Waco ISD TV. Our camera guys include Jesse Maldonado at one end of the court. Then there's Leslie Ugaldi shooting from up top. At the other end of the court, there's Ricky Mazza. And then we have on graphics David Ellis. And the guy just behind David that hides from everybody is our overall director, Jesse Batteo. Every now and then Jesse will wave at us. I'm Lark Smith, and our statistician is Steve Tankersley. Not much scoring in that particular quarter for either team. 9 points for the Vikings and 11 for University. Hi there. Lark Smith, Steve Tankersley. That's us. Trying to make sure we got our scorecards right as we start the 4th and final period. It's a 3-point lead for the visiting Vikings. Right now, Justin Williams has 9 points. Marquavian Mitchell with 10 to lead the Trojans. Zach Nuttall has 10 for the Bryan Vikings to lead their scoring. As we're back to play for the final 8 minutes. Williams looking for some help at the top. Nothing there. Chamberlain picks him up. Now he dribbles it in, but loses his dribble, and Bryan's on the run. They get it out to Thomas, and Thomas will just kind of roll it over the edge. Thomas now has 7 points in the game. It's a 5-point advantage for Bryan again. I think their biggest lead has been 7 tonight. Hopkins thought about the 3. Archibald loses his dribble. It's picked up by Bryan. Horns goes the other way, takes it all the way to the baseline with a spin move. He tries to go to the bucket, but he's fouled by Archibald. And that's the 4th foul on Tyron Archibald. The only player in foul trouble with those 4 fouls. Horns is 0 for 2 from the free throw line. They get 0 for 3. Free throw shooting is not the forte of either one of these teams. Only 2 free throws made so far between the 2 squads. That one's off the front of the iron. Bryan, though, gets the rebound. Chamberlain for 3. He drains it. First bucket tonight for Logan Chamberlain. Makes it an 8-point contest, the biggest lead of the night for either team, as Tarl Lloyd calls a timeout and wants to talk to his troops here, as they've been outscored 5-0 here in the first 55 minutes of our 4th quarter. And Bryan has grabbed their biggest lead of the night at 35-27. Again, Trojans trying to work their way into playoff competition. They're in a 4-way tie for 4th place with 5 games left to go in the conference schedule. They're knotted up with Waco, Temple, College Station, and themselves. They still have to play those 3 teams. Those will be the final 3 games of the season. They will be off on Friday the 26th. Their next action will be a week from tonight on the road at A&M Consolidated. Bryan, meanwhile, will take on Consolidated this Friday before tangling with the Rudder Rangers, the team at the top of the standings, 1 week from tonight. University trying to overcome their biggest deficit of the evening at 8. As Bryan showing full court pressure as the Trojans bring in the ball. Trojans using the passing game to get it across the timeline. Hopkins gets it off to Bogus. Bogus inside to Williams. Williams double team, but still goes to the hoop and can't get it to fall. Wells comes out with the rebound for Bryan. Thomas thought about the three. Gets it off to Chamberlain. He's got some confidence. He's hit his second two threes for Logan Chamberlain here in the fourth quarter. They've outscored the Trojans 8-0 to start this period and lead by 11 now at 38-37. Trojans have only hit one three-pointer tonight, and that was by the man who has the basketball in his hands right now, Justin Williams. .6:10 to go. Trojans not panicking just yet. Long pass into the corner to Hopkins. Back out to Archibald. Back to Hopkins. Hopkins fakes his man and then steps inside the two-point arc and gets the shot. Hopkins' first 2 points of the night. All saved from going out of bounds. Battle underneath the board. Bryan comes out with it. Hopkins led the Trojans in scoring in their last outing with 11 points, but he just has 2 tonight. Nuttall in position for the rebound to put it back up and in. He's got 12 points. Mitchell puts up the shot off the top of the glass, no good. Thomas clears it off, and now we got the running game going. Wells underneath the basket is kept from being able to score by Mitchell as Mitchell picks up his third foul. I think Mitchell would have been all right if he just stood there with his hands straight up, but he leaned over the top. 5:11 left to play. And Bryan trying to extend their lead to 12. Unable to do so. Wells misses. I guess it was Wells that got the 2-point basket and not Nuttall, or otherwise he wouldn't be. I got it. I'll be all right. Wells hits that one. There we go. He's got 5 points, and they're all in the second half. Tyrese Johnson checks in for University. Also into the game is Avantia Henderson for the first time. Johnson cross-court pass to Hopkins, to Henderson, to Williams. Three-pointer on its way from Hopkins is well off the mark. And Bryan comes out with the rebound. They go running. Ball is lost out of bounds off of University. .12-point advantage for the Bryan Vikings. Washington gets it over to Thomas. In the corner it goes to Horns. Back to Washington inside the arc. Washington hits 2. He's got 9 points in the game. Johnson gets it off to Hopkins. Down the corner to Johnson. Down low it goes to Mitchell. Mitchell into the paint. Will not get that one to go. Mitchell all of a sudden has gotten cold inside, and that's not good for the Trojans. Thomas slows it down, gets it off to Nuttall. His three-pointer is good. They've drained 3 threes here in the fourth quarter to start the runaway, up by 17 now, at 46-29. outscored the Trojans 16-2 in this quarter. It was a 3-point game at the end of the third quarter, but University unable to get anything to fall as they've only got 2 points from Derek Hopkins here in the fourth quarter. Tara Lloyd over on the side talking to his coaching staff as to what they think they need to do here while his 5 players on the court get a rest. Meanwhile, Christopher Jones standing tall among his players, letting his assistant coach do some. Oh, we got a technical foul called. I missed it. Shooting the free throws is Tyrese Johnson. Gets one and misses the other. Well, I missed the technical. I'm sorry. But I did not see the technical. Apparently it was on University, so we're going to get, it was against Bryan, so they got the free throws and University will get the ball. You're up by 17. Why would you get a technical foul? The officials giving the teams a little more time to rest up. Maybe cool down after the technical. Number 15, Ricky Johnson, is checked into the game, along with number 25, Keisha Hemmett for Bryan. Trojans down by 16. Johnson inside pass to Mitchell, back out to Johnson. Johnson will take the three, it's off the mark. Johnson with the rebound. Bryan will slow it down. 3.5 minutes to go. Thomas takes it to the backboard and he's fouled. Henderson picks up his first foul. And it will be a shooting foul that will send Latravian, as they call him, LT Thomas, to the line. He's got 7 points tonight. Kind of has a Deion Sanders look going there, doesn't he? Hits this one. One more try for LT. Off the front of the iron. But Bryan's able to control the rebound. Washington keeps it out top. Gets it off to Xavier Logan. Over to Washington. Trying to steal the ball away. Tyrese Johnson picks up his first foul. Right now, Tara Lloyd's got some players on the court that can pick up some fouls. Next foul for either team sends the opponent into the bonus as there's 16 fouls apiece. Exactly 3 minutes to go. Driving to the hoop. Shot will fall for Johnson. And he'll also go to the backboard, to the free throw line. They give him the two. They say the foul's on 25 of Adia Henderson, his second. And now Thomas at the line. He's got 10 points in the game. Ryan Smith checks into the game along with Deshaun Sadler for University. Johnson and Henderson to the sideline. Thomas shooting two. It's the first one. Excuse me, he got one more. I'll be all right. 20-point lead for the Vikings at 50-30. Long shot put up by Williams and goes to the bank with it. For Justin Williams, his second three of the night. He's got 12 for the game. All the way out to the top, it goes to Washington. Washington will drive in. Shot is blocked as it goes to the backboard. I believe that'll be on Mitchell. If it is, that's his fourth. Nope, I take that back. I think they gave it to Williams, 14. Just his second. Washington hits the first free throw. Vikings have outscored the Trojans 21-6 in this period. Forged a 17-point lead at this point. Wholesale changes for Christopher Jones. He brings back in Jonathan Wells, along with Kayfon Horns. As Washington hits that one. 52-33 our score. 2:20 left. Hopkins, cross-court pass to Smith. Williams looking for an open shot. Three-pointer on its way off the mark by Sadler. 2 minutes to play as Nuttall brings it across the timeline. He'll go to the hoop and can't get the finger roll to go, but he was fouled on the way in a two-shot foul. It'll be on Bryan Smith, his first. Send Zach Nuttall to the line. He's got 15 points for the game. 3 shy of his average. He's 0 for 2, though, from the free throw line. Now Wade McGregor checks back into the game. Johnson will go to the sideline. Now he hits a free throw. Back to a 20-point lead for Bryan. Pass was a little reluctant. Now a quick pass down low, and it's no good by Bryan Smith. A good job of finding the open man by Williams there, but University not able to cash in with 90 seconds left to go. Smith against Washington. Washington looking to drive in, passes it off. It's knocked out of bounds by Williams. It'll be Bryan's basketball. They have put on a scoring clinic here in the third quarter. Trojans with just 6 points in the period. Foul called on Williams, his third. He's got 3. Mitchell has 3. Archibald has 4. The Trojans in foul trouble right now. No real foul trouble for the Vikings. 2 apiece for Wells, Calhoun, and Thomas. Free throw is no good by Nuttall. Ball lost out of bounds. It'll be University's basketball. Trojans bring it up slowly. And get it across with 1 minute exactly left in the game. Sadler gets it back out to Hopkins. Three-pointer from Williams is drained. He's got 3 3-pointers now. Maybe it's a little too late, though, to get that rolling. Bryan working the ball around, looking for an open shot. Mainly just trying to run off the remainder of the clock with a 53-36 lead and only 25 seconds left to go. They'll just run out the rest of the clock. University going to be content to let them do that. And the Bryan Vikings will run their season record to 18-8 and be 5-2 in district play, while the University Trojans fall to 16-12 on the year and now 2-5 in the district after the Vikings come away with a 53-36 win over the Trojans. Trojans led the night by Justin Williams with 15 points. 13 of those came in the second half. Mitchell had 10 points, and 8 of those came in the first half. The Vikings, though, led the night by their leading scorer for the year, Zach Nuttall, with 16. They had a couple other players in double figures, Jaquan Washington with 11, and Latravian Thomas with 11. But again, our final score is Bryan 53 and University 36. For our entire crew here at the University High School Gymnasium, we thank you for joining us for tonight's basketball game in 18-5A. Until next time, I'm Lark Smith, bidding you a good night from the University High School Gymnasium.